Welcome back to Office Hours. Let's see, am I audible here? Maybe it should be a little louder. Maybe it should be something like that. Can everybody hear me? I'm going to start off today with a little announcement. These stickers that were designed with Pete and Lewis at office hours a few weeks back have arrived. And if you haven't already and you want one, you can send your shipping address to media@makenoisemusic.com and we'll send you one anywhere in the world. Let me type that into the chat window real quick. I'm sorry that it's kind of hard to see them in this bright light. Maybe I can refocus the camera so we can see it a little better. There we go. Little view of this special office hours Make Noise sticker designed perhaps by you with help from Pete and Lewis. Somebody said in the chat earlier that this sounded like an alien attack, and that's probably what somebody said the first time they heard the sound that this is created from. Chris, we are going to send them to Europe, and Pete has archived all the mails that people sent before, so you will be receiving. Somebody already guessed it, of course. This is, of course, the pretty much inimitable guitar stylings of the recently late Eddie Van Halen. Maybe we modulate this a little. This is interesting. You couldn't read music. They created a special notation for just playing, and you couldn't read that either. Didn't need to. When I was a kid, I did teach myself to play some of that stuff. And I remember that I had a sheet music, a tablature for Eruption with all kinds of little notations for the harmonics and Floyd Rose bombs and everything. Most of which I was unable to accomplish, if I'm being honest. Can we get some woggle bug frequency to voltage action on this? We'll see what happens. So that's in reference to technique that was shown in our YouTube video for the week, and what we're going to do that is start by multing the sound that we're hearing here so that we can still hear it and then also take it elsewhere. And the elsewhere we're going to take it is the influence input of the woggle bug. And right now the woggle bug is modulating the slide parameter on the morphogene. Let's remove that That's going to take away some of the motion that we had in there, so let's modulate it with something else instead. Now, let's see. What should we do here? Let's start by removing the morphogene from the sound real quick, just so we can hear what's happening. It's just being sequenced real slowly, the DPO is right now, from the Rene. So instead, let's use the woggle output that's... So that's now being modulated by the woggle bug, which is being influenced by the sound of Edward Van Halen's guitar in its pitch, which is often tough to discern because he uses so many both palm mutes and other harmonic addition techniques that a lot of times the notes are kind of sailing between the octaves a lot. But let's just see how it sounds against the... There it is. The sound of the DPO attempting to play what Van Halen's playing on the guitar. Talking, yeah. Sounds very vocal. I'm going to go ahead and sequence the various feed with the Rene that I already have being clocked here. And I'm also going to do what I did in the video and use the CV out to control the amplitude of the optimix here. I'm actually interested to hear what it sounds like when we're not so much modulating as just doing more of a loop. Demodulated too. That seems like a bridge too far, doesn't it? Let's give it a whirl. Actually, I like the sound of jamming this jack against the ground plane here. Reminds me of being in the school cafeteria when I was a kid and shutting my ears rhythmically. Okay, can I remember how to do demodulate? Let's see. I think I can. We're going to take sine wave to modulate the signal, and then another one to demodulate the signal. I think maybe the tough part about this is I don't know if we have quite enough oscillators here to do both at once. But let's start with just listening to the demodulation. And I think maybe the key to this, if we want to keep doing the wogglebug thing, is to drop the frequency of one of these. Actually, both. hit full per octave and then use follow. This loop has so much fret noise in it. But I think if we go to the eruption loop, it might be easier, maybe. Now I'm seeing, so ask if we could simulate the tapping technique using Renee and pressure points. We might be able to do something. It's pretty easy to destroy the loop this way. The thing about the tapping that Van Halen did is that the guitar fretboard works differently from the pressure points. The pressure points, it won't jump back to the other plate when you let go of one of them. It doesn't have, you can't do hammer-ons or pull-offs with it. So I'm not sure we could do tapping, at least in the same way that a guitar player would do it. An envelope detector path in the channel of maths, that's definitely doable. The thing is, it all depends on what the envelope is. This is a highly compressed guitar loop here. Like, even the tails of the notes are basically as loud as the attacks are. And you can see it on the envelope detector indicator on the morphogene here that it's almost never going all the way to zero. And in fact, what we might be able to do is use the maths to sort of force it to go all the way to zero and shorten these notes, which might be interesting. So let's see what we can do about that. I've got too many patch cables in here, and I'm going to pull some out real quick. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is kind of make a comparator patch so that we can make it so that the envelope is only created at the transients. I'm going to do that by by adding a negative offset to the sum output by turning channel 2 down and then taking the sum output to channel 1. Got to take channel 1's output from its individual output to make sure it's not in the sum too. Not sure how much I love that. Gotta kind of fine tune it by carefully adjusting the offset levels here. I think this is going to sound better through the mod demix because it's got a just a natural smoothing out of the tail. That has its problems too because it's kind of a low amplitude envelope that's being generated and it's not opening the Optimix all the way. It's an interesting sound, kind of like bouncing some marbles around on his guitar strings or something. Kind of like that, actually. It's got it's just an interesting dynamic modulation there that gives it a different flavor. Let's try one of the other loops and see what it sounds like with the same thing going on. It's not really going to work because there are no envelopes in that actual tapping section. It's just a constant, basically a constant level. What if we slow the sample down to the grains and envelope detect those? Let's try that. I'm going to turn morph even down a little bit so there's space between the genes, and we'll start to clock it. Actually not sure how much the envelope detector is really adding to this because the genes have some they're heavily enveloped already. So when I turn up the envelope length or turn it down, it's not really changing it a whole lot, but it's still an interesting effect, and I don't think I would know what the source of this sound was if I heard this processed version of it to begin with. What if we speed up Tempe? I think in this case, we are getting something from the envelope detector. It's just adding some bumpiness to it. There's something happening somewhere along the line where it sounds like it's swelling slowly. There's some kind of slow modulation happening that's making it sound like it's swelling, and I'm not sure exactly what's causing that. It could just be that maybe this original loop was not played to a click track, and it was actually speeding up a little bit before the drums came in, and when we're listening to it faster like this, it's more obvious, perhaps. Honey Paws says office hours happens at every Thursday. Yep, same time, same place. Every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time in the US, or whatever time it was where you are 37 minutes ago. Yeah, once again, I'm sorry about the lack of stereo on these live streams. Still looking into that. Here we go, same speed through the loop, but much lower pitch. Bad bass line, really. What else could that envelope control? Well, if we control something on the morphogene, that'll be kind of like a feedback path, and it'll make it go pretty nuts. Let's try it real quick, and we can pull back from it if we want to. That definitely destabilizes it. Maybe the very speed. That's not bad. talking about love. Not sure what we're talking about. Pigs arguing. I like that. Goblin's doing the dishes. Let's see what we got here. Could we sequence a varying pitch of the sample via echophone and mixing both the sample and the echophone output together again? So, do we mean using the pitch shifter? You know, one thing we could do is we could use this gate from Maths Channel 1 that's being generated by the envelope follower and use it to sequence to clock the Renee. You know, it looks like it's going super fast though. Let me see if I can slow it down a little bit. Now sequencing the pitch shifter with the fastest clock I can make with no feedback or as little feedback as I can make. So what happened was I started clocking the Renee with this into rise gate that's coming from the envelope generator or the envelope follower. And then I'm using the Renee to sequence the pitch of the echophone and trying to make it do so without having any echoes, just one instantaneous echo. We can mix it back in now with the original here. Let's get a little more echo than that. Or yeah, the other way to say it is that the pigs got abducted. Pigs ate Eddie's guitar. Or were eaten by, is it the Frankenstrat? Is that what he called it? Is this pitch too low for Wogglebug to do pitch to voltage? Probably. Once it goes kind of low frequency, it starts kind of following the contour of the oscillations because it's also designed to react to CV. So it has to be fairly high frequency for it to really latch on to it as a generated frequency based on it. But I mean, that doesn't stop us from trying. Let's just see what happens. You know, we could use the woggle bug to sequence this pitch instead of the Renee, just as a try. It's a little more obvious. The frequency to voltage thing does work on the wired woggle bug as well. If you were watching yesterday's video, I also threw up a card about it when I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. We have a video that we made it back in 2014, I think, showing it being done on the wired woggle bug. The input is called ring mod in on that one. I kind of want to hear this on the eruption lick now. How much of the echophone can be replaced by the mimeophone? The mimeophone also does clocked echoes, but it doesn't do pitch shifting. Otherwise, I would just say the two are kind of pretty different concepts of echoes. You see the question, what are the biggest differences between Richter and wired woggle bugs? We got the hold button, which we also call the disturb button because it can either put it to sleep or wake it up depending on the clock speed and how long you're holding it. More stable clock, less HP, saw, or shark tooth wave out. The current Richter woggle bug can go a lot faster. It can clock a lot faster. I think it's a little easier to use because the range knobs are removed, and it generally is more responsive. For the original woggle bug, is a heavily Vactrol-based design that had a lot of ways where it could sort of fall asleep or not respond to you for a while, and this one's just much quicker to respond. I'm not sure exactly why this is sounding the way it does. We'll get into it. Phantom of the Mouse Opera. Actually, I think a lot of this has to do with the morph control. I've turned it all the way up, and we've got the morph chord ratios coming in and creating harmonies of the original I'm really only using about a third of the cables here. It's a very simple patch, but I almost don't want to ruin it. I kind of like it. Not attempting a tapping patch, perhaps using your maestro arms and preferential pitch shifting is doing Eddie Van Halen wrong. Okay, we've got about 8 minutes left. Let's see if we can do that in the time left. Let's see now. Let's see. What shall we use? A triangle wave, at least to start? You know what? If time allows, real quick, I'm just going to make a bunch of different states that I can use, that I can switch between here. Okay, let's try this now. Okay, so maybe something like this. I'm also going to hit Z reset so that it always resets the sequence when I touch, and any time I miss the rhythm, I won't miss it too bad. And I want to change the final one to be different. And then we can use a row to transpose too. It's going to be tough to do while also modding here. All right, let's try this. And there's one other thing I kind of want to do, which is let's do a little bit of enveloping. Multiply the ARP and pressure points together with Modimix. What I'm doing now is just adding them together with between the volt per octave input and the expo input. So that was the best Eddie Van Halen tapping patch tribute I could make in the 8 minutes I had. I don't know how much farther I can really take it, but still pretty fun. Okay, somebody says I should probably end the stream by setting the case on fire. It's more of a Hendrix thing. Maybe we'll do a Hendrix episode sometime. I'm going to go ahead and automate this so that I can continue to talk over the outro here. If anybody missed it at the beginning, we now have these Make Noise stickers in stock, which were created in an office hours a few weeks back by the people watching the office hours. And they're available to anybody who sends their shipping address to media@makenoisemusic.com. And I'm going to go ahead and type that into the chat one more time here. So we'll ship those anywhere in the world. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week as always. And one last time, rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen, one of the great musicians of our time. I hope everybody has a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next week.